It remains the constitutional mandate of the Uganda Police Force alone, and we urge that these formations are disbanded immediately wherever they exist. Ladies and gentlemen, we are also witnessing worrying expressions of identity-based politics. In Bunyoro, for instance, the Abafuruki narrative is resurfacing, and in Kigezi, religious-based mobilization between Catholics and Protestants has re-emerged in some areas. Identity politics corrodes the foundations of equality and non-discrimination and threatens to divide communities that have lived together for generations. Elections must never become platforms that inflame tribal or religious sentiment. In addition, we are increasingly concerned about the rise of misinformation. In the central region and other parts of the country, falsehoods and biased reporting are being used to stoke anxiety. It is troubling that some mainstream media houses have recently swung into action to discredit the electoral process through narratives that are false, exaggerated, or selectively framed. Notably, the claims of police brutality against some candidates circulating in selected outlets have not been corroborated by facts, yet they are being amplified recklessly. Such conduct undermines public confidence and harms the integrity of the electoral process. We therefore call upon the media to uphold professionalism, responsibility, objectivity, accuracy, and patriotism. The media is the bridge between institutions and citizens. That bridge must not be used to breed fear or distort reality. In an age of artificial intelligence and largely unregulated digital platforms, the obligation to verify information before publishing it is not just a journalistic requirement, it is a national duty. We urge every Ugandan using social media to exercise restraint, skepticism, and responsibility. Information can build a nation or break it. Stakeholders here present, we are also concerned about gender-related constraints on political participation. Reports from multiple regions indicate that some women feel compelled to seek permission from their husbands before choosing which candidate to support. This practice violates women's constitutional rights and has in many cases contributed to spikes in sexual and gender-based violence. It must be condemned and rejected unequivocally. Ladies and gentlemen, Uganda needs a peaceful electoral season built on respect, restraint, and responsibility. This is why today's gathering of key institutions is both symbolic and substantive. We stand together to reaffirm our commitment to upholding the rule of law, safeguarding rights, and ensuring a credible electoral process. To political parties and candidates, your leadership is critical. The Commission commends those who have demonstrated restraint and maturity. Continue to put Uganda first. Campaign with dignity, respect your opponents, and honor the rights of your supporters and non-supporters alike. Uganda is bigger than any individual, movement, or campaign message. To the electorate, these elections are about your voice and your future. Participate peacefully. Reject violence. Respect opinions different from your own. Democracy thrives on diversity of thought, not uniformity of belief. To the security agencies, your role is indispensable. Maintain law and order firmly, professionally, and within the confines of human rights principles. The use of force must always be lawful, proportionate, and a last resort. The country is counting on your discipline. As the Human Rights Commission, we have been active throughout the country, holding preventive dialogues with political leaders, cultural institutions, religious leaders, security personnel, and communities. Our campaigns monitoring teams are on the ground daily, calling out acts of violence and violations. On election day, we will deploy observers and will issue our assessment publicly. We have established a 24-hour hotline for citizens to report human rights concerns. We will continue to provide civic education and engage stakeholders to keep our democracy stable, peaceful, and inclusive. Dear friends, our message is simple. Peace is everyone's responsibility. Uganda must prove that disagreement does not mean division and that competition need not lead to conflict. The credibility of the 2026 polls will depend on respect for human rights, tolerance, and adherence to the rule of law. Elections are strongest when citizens feel safe and empowered to express their will freely. Let us work together as institutions, political parties, civil society, the media, and citizens to ensure that the 2026 elections become a celebration of democracy, not a contest of hostility. Let us uphold human rights, the rule of law, and the dignity of each and every Ugandan without discrimination on any ground.